is here, and we are back with season 2 of Yard Car. We've got a couple cool projects lined up, such as our customer's BMW swap. We're going to be doing that in 24 hours live on January 27th. We're going to start early in the morning. We're going to have his LS1 and T56 on our swap-ready turnkey pallet. We're going to take it off of there as soon as the timer is starting, and we're going to get that puppy shoved in there, folded up, all wired up inside the car, dry shaft and everything made and put in and fabricated, and we're going to have it so it's drivable in 24 hours. So check that out later this month. It's going to have a cam put in it and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. Also, we have got a booth at the IX Center for the Piston Power Show presented by Summit Racing. We're going to have some of our engines and stuff up there on pallets so you guys can come check them out. Maybe win a free t-shirt. We'll have to see you up there. So yesterday we put the cam into the customer's engine. His LS1 now has a 228R with a 110 load separation angle. We're going to give it that real mean thump to it and also a bunch of power. Today we are swapping out the long tube headers for some custom fit E36 swap headers. So, one of the biggest problems you find running into and doing an LS swap on an E36 chassis is that these cars have a front rack, so the steering shaft has to go all the way to the front, and you'll notice the huge difference on these headers where the custom ones have the rear exhaust manifold looped all the way forward, and this one here comes straight back and down. That gives that steering shaft somewhere to go, and it lets it wrap around and not give it problems with the fitment, whereas the standard Camaro ones or any just regular eBay LS swap headers don't have that room. It's just the rear manifold comes straight down out of the rear cylinder and doesn't give you that room. So we're going to swap these on so we know what the power numbers are at the dyno on this Friday, and we're going to get it take it back off so we can get the engine installed and then put back on when they're in the car. Check it out. Yesterday we got the headers installed. The camera died last night as I was finishing up, so we didn't really check it out. But these guys wrap super tight to this engine. They come down and right up against it. That's going to give the E36 exactly what it needs, because the transmission tunnel is quite tight because of the small inline 6 that comes factory in it. So these tight wrapping headers will fit right down in there. On the driver's side, it's got a Y in between two of them to let that steering shaft shoot right through it. That's going to help out in this swap. It's going to be great. We're going to get the wiring harness thrown on it and get her so it's a turnkey today. Got to get her running and finished so when we show up at the dyno tomorrow night and drop the engine off, it's ready for us and running Friday morning to see what kind of horsepower numbers this guy's going to make. Earlier this morning, we got a phone call from the guys over at the dyno, and they gave us some bad news that we're going to have to wait till next week to take this engine over to them because they got a little mixed up on their scheduling, which is no big deal, but it just really puts us in a big pinch because we've got to get this thing running and tuned and then back from the dyno and get it set on one of our turnkey pallets to really show you guys how fast that you can take one of our turnkey pallets and swap it into your project car. The whole goal here is to show how swap ready our turnkey pallets come, and not just have an engine running on a thing, but we try to make it simple for you guys so you can do it over a weekend like we're going to do. So far this morning, I've got the wiring harness all hooked up. I've got the little bit of tuning done on the ECM so she'll run. We had to drop the starter off of it, and with how tight that those new headers fit this engine, I had to take the headers off to drop that starter to get in there so we can properly torque down the new harmonic balancer on this bad boy. So let's get the headers put back on and fuel pump hooked up and see if we can get it running. Alright, so we've got the exhaust all hooked back up again. I had to take it off 500 times because the thread holes right where the manifold bolts go in, they kept not really fitting, so I cleaned them up a little bit with a nice tap, making sure that all the bolts went in nice and smoothly. And then last time I put them on, I forgot that the wiring harness was stuck behind it, so I had to take them off again to wrap that wiring harness up and around. But we got all that figured out. We got the ECM sitting there and the fuse block screwed down to the pallet. Filling up with oil right now. Gonna do a nice oil change before we start them up, and have this thing running in just a few minutes. So we got the cam in it, we've got the fuel hooked up, the wiring all done. Did it once over, checked it out. Did it twice over, never hurts to check stuff twice. Changed the oil in it, gave it fresh oil, and here we go. Like that, 228R, 110 lobe separation angle. That gives it all the thump you need. Alright, so now that we got it running, I did a little bit more tuning on it, so it does run a lot lower RPMs, because whoever had it tuned before with the long tube headers, and if it had a possible cam, not sure, we'll have to look it over, look for some stamps and stuff on it, but it was idling around 1300 RPMs, and that was just not acceptable for any bass idle. So we got it down there, so it really thumps now. Called the dyno shop up because it's not gonna work for us having a dyno on Wednesday, and that leaves us 2 days to get everything settled before the 24-hour swap. So we're just gonna have to shove this thing in there and then get this thing chassis tuned. So it's gonna go in there no matter what on Saturday, but the dyno day for just the engine's not gonna happen. We're gonna throw it in and then take it and get the whole chassis dynoed, see what the horsepower is at the wheels, and not only is it a lot cheaper, but it's going to be a lot easier to do and a lot faster. It's not going to require a whole day's setup on the engine dyno, so we're really looking forward to that. Keep posted. But that's it for this week's yard car. Got the headers installed, wiring harness, got the engine running. Really cracking down on time. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, we're going to start tackling a lot of the stuff in the car, like a lot of the wiring, try to get some speedometers put in, because it's basically just an empty shell of a car right now. It's even got a log for the seat still. Kind of just pushed it up in here, and it's been sitting while we've been tinkering around getting the engine finalized and ready, but we're here, we're done. 1 week left. Let's do this. See you next week, and check us out next Saturday live on our website, LSSWAP.PARTS, and on YouTube. See you then.